Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's another week, another edition of the Philly Pod. It is Saturday morning, October the 15th. We're here to bring you a new episode. I'm Dave. Mike here along at my side as always. And here's the thing that we're looking to do this week. Obviously, we had our show this past Tuesday night, and we kind of hit on some things. So today for our show, obviously, we just had Flyers hockey last night. We got the Eagles playing tomorrow against the Redskins. So today, we're going to kind of bounce around all over the place today. We're going to hit on some different things, and we don't really have a plan for today. See, what we're going to talk about. We're just going to kind of talk and see where it goes today.
Yes.
We're going to bounce all over. So, Mike, how we doing, man?
Doing pretty good.
You must be pretty excited. Good win for the Flyers last night, huh?
I watched that entire game. A little nervous at the beginning, but in the second period, they definitely came through when they needed to.
If in case you missed it, Flyers won 4-2. Over the Los Angeles Kings. I did not get to see the game. I was out for my sister's birthday dinner, but I got the updates, the messages, all that. I've seen the highlights. They look pretty good.
Here's a little fun fact for
Yeah.
you. The Flyers, this is the first time they started a season out in California since their first year in the
Really?
NHL.
How'd they do that year?
They didn't do too well.
Maybe we don't want that fun fact then.
But it was the first time since they started off the season against the Oakland Seals.
Wow, that's going back.
Yes, that is going way back. 1966, dude.
How'd the young kids look? I saw Provorov and Konechny had some assists.
Yes, both of them had points last night, and even Gostisbehere had an assist last night as well.
Now, they were spurred by that 4-goal second period. That's ultimately what decided the game.
That was big. Little nervous in the first period.
You think that was just nerves?
Maybe, yeah, because the Kings had already played a game, so they had a little bit of an edge to them already. But because it looked like they were just going back to what they did last year, which was the dump and chase. But they looked good in that second period, and I saw a lot of things that I liked. A few things that I didn't like, but a lot of it was positive. Obviously, you have quick turnaround as they go into Arizona tonight at 9 p.m.
Yeah, they looked faster. Just from what I saw in the highlights, they look a lot faster, a lot different than what the type of hockey we're used to seeing here in Philly.
I would agree with that, and they were more creative in their in the offensive zone as well. And I think that helps when you have more of a playmaking kind of style. You can do that, and when you have the speed, it helps.
Well, they've got that.
They do.
And it's kind of cool to see. That's one thing where the Flyers, when the lockout happened, obviously it was a different game, new rules, a lot faster. That's one area where the Flyers obviously lacked. They still came out with the big bodies, and they've been struggling ever since to kind of adapt to the new NHL, if you want to call it that way. But it looks like Hackstall has realized that coming in, and they're definitely moving that way.
It definitely looks like it, and I'll tell you what, this kid Konechny, he might not have the strength or the size, but what he lacks in size and strength, he has wheels. He has some wheels. He was able to get past. There was one play, I believe it was in the second period, where the Kings defenseman lost sight of the puck. He was able to break through for a breakaway, and the kid can fly.
That's good.
And he has good vision too on the ice because he generates some good scoring chances, and he had 2 assists last night. So he looks like the kind of guy that can generate some plays offensively.
Had Neuwirth play. I saw he was 23 and 25. I saw some good saves.
He looked sharp as well. He looked like he's picking up where he left off in the Capitals series.
Now, that would be big. Now, if we can get that sort of play out of Neuwirth consistently throughout the year, that's going to be a long way.
I think the key for the Flyers this year is when they play really well against the playoff teams, it's the non-playoff teams that they seem to kind of play down to that level of hockey. And they end up getting burned for it.
Yeah, that's an attribute of a young team.
Yeah.
You tend to look past opponents. You look past, you play down to their level. You play down, playing up instead of getting that quality, that consistency you see every game out there.
Yeah.
So it was good to see. I mean, from what you saw, did anything really change as far as season expectations go?
I'm still gonna say that they probably won't do better than a 6 seed. But if they keep playing like this and they don't fall into that trap of playing down to teams, that could change as the season moves along. But for right now, I'm going to stay where I am. I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm not changing my expectations.
Okay.
Just staying safe for now. It's an 82 game season, so a lot can happen.
You think they can get to 45 wins? I haven't pegged around. I haven't pegged to 45.
I think that sounds about right. You think about it, 45 wins, maybe. Well, I think about it now. 45, maybe. If they get about 8 overtime losses, that's 98 points. That's a lot of points for a young team. Just to kind of give you an idea. I think
it might be a little off there.
A more realistic goal would probably be about 42 wins.
Okay.
You figure about 8
I'll take that.
to 10 overtime losses. That's 92 points. That seems to be a little more in the ballpark for the Flyers.
I'll be happy with that.
Definitely.
I would take that. It was cool to see. It was exciting to see. It's been a couple of years since we've had a couple of 19-year-old kids out here on the ice for the Flyers. There's excitement.
The last time that they had 2 19-year-olds dress up in the same game was back in 2001. The last time they made their debut together, that hasn't happened since 1985.
Who were they?
Derek Smith and something Ziesel.
Okay. I'll have to look that up then.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the line up here for tonight's game, Flyers and the Coyotes, and it's in Arizona.
Yes.
The Coyotes are minus 120 favorites.
That's where.
Not overwhelming.
Yeah.
Not overwhelming. Now, this is tough. You're talking back to back on the road here. Tough spot for the Flyers.
Yeah, they're playing Ty Domi's son. I don't know if you recall that name. He got into a fight with a Flyers fan back in the 90s.
Oh, really?
And it's an infamous video. It's probably up on YouTube. You can probably YouTube it. But his son Max plays for the Coyotes, so that'll be fun.
Oh, actually, the line changed. I just got another one here. So, Flyers and Coyotes are both at minus 105 for tonight now. That's looking pretty good for the Flyers.
Yeah.
Man, that would be a good start to the season, huh?
Yeah, that would.
Get wins back-to-back nights on the road. That would be cool.
Well, it's funny, too, because their first 3 games are against Western Conference teams.
Okay, you got a point coming with that?
Well, you're gonna get tested early. You got the Kings, the Coyotes, the Blackhawks, and then the Ducks. So definitely not going to be easy.
All right, test the young guys out early. See what they got early on.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. Fun to watch, though.
Oh,
I
definitely.
can't wait to watch some of this stuff this year. It's going to be.
The youth movement is here, dude.
It is in all the sports. And how about the Sixers, man? How about Joel Embiid?
Double-double?
The games he keeps putting up. You see the game he had the other night? I think it was 12 minutes, 11 points, and was it 14 boards?
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. Those rebounds he was taking down. That kid's going to be good. If he can stay healthy, big if. But, man, I'm getting really excited with Joel Embiid, dude.
The hype train's real.
The hype train is for real, man. I was so skeptical about Embiid coming in, but now seeing these things, my big thing for Embiid was just, all right, just get through the year. Just get through the year healthy. Don't hurt the foot, and then whatever we get there is bonus. But seeing the move, his footwork, did you see him D up John Wall at the top of the key? That was incredible. He held his own, man. We'll see if we can't get the video of that up on the YouTube page. But that was awesome. Like, this kid can move. He can shoot. He can play defense. He can block. He's getting rebounds. Man, we got some exciting times right now.
We do.
Now you put him together with Simmons. Oh, man. That is going to be something. And Saric there coming off the bench. You still have Okafor, too. Like, I think they can make it work. Not this year. Obviously not this year. Yeah. But down the road, this is going to be something special, man, with the 76ers. As long as Embiid stays healthy, keeps that foot upright and ready to go, oh, man. I'm salivating over the possibilities, like watching these Sixer games, dude.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely gonna be fun to watch.
You don't sound too blown away.
Well, yeah,
are you more wait and see?
Yeah, I'm a little more wait and see. It kind of staying cautiously optimistic.
Oh, I'm going in, dude. Right. Obviously, I'm still worried about the foot injury with Embiid. The possibility of him re-injuring it, but dude, I'm going for it now. I mean, I just wasn't expecting to see this much athleticism, this much ability right away. I thought, obviously, and they're gonna have to keep him on the minutes limit, but it got me thinking, with Embiid looking the way he has, and obviously it's still preseason. I understand that totally, but with him looking the way he has. The question came up in my mind: what do we now bump? Like, do we now move up the timeline for when the Sixers are going to be ready to compete?
Possibly. I think as long as they keep him, conditioned. I think that's what they're doing right now is just conditioning him. Kind of working him into the system, and because he hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah, they've got to. They have to manage this kid. You've got to look after him. You've got to take care of him.
You don't want to have a Lamar Odom incident or, where it can, change, go for the worst.
Oh, you mean Elton Brand?
Yeah, Elton Brand.
Yeah. Now, you don't want that for sure. And I'd love to see him out there for full games, but listen, you got to do what you got to do with this kid for this year. You have to bring him along slow. He's coming off of the 2 surgeries, hasn't played in 2 years. But it's looking like right now... knock on wood, but it's looking like right now they've got this. They got the player they thought they were getting back in that draft. That's awesome to see. Like, so man, you got the Flyers possibly in a few years. The Sixers, we get Ben Simmons back, see what he's got. I mean, things are trending upward. You
got Carson Wentz.
I love that kid, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
He's doing and saying all the right things.
He is. Like, he says the right things in the media. There was a cool story out there. You see the tip he left?
Yeah.
Out there? Yeah, he left a $500 tip for a waitress earlier this week. Like, and that's a little thing, but it tells you something about the guy.
The kid is definitely was brought up right.
He's got it. You want to hear the stories. Like, remember the stories you would hear about LaShawn McCoy and how he could tip sometimes? Like, what was it? He left like $1 tip.
Yeah.
On like a $1,500 bill. It might not have been exactly that, but just a little thing tells you something about the guy. But man, Wentz has got it.
He does.
And I think he's gonna. It's gonna be interesting to see how he bounces back from the loss, how he bounces back from the pick. I've got no doubt that he's gonna be fine come game time tomorrow. Tough game. I think this is going to be a tough game for the Eagles for sure. Obviously, these division games, you never know where they're going to go. I think Washington's going to play tough, but they haven't played particularly well at home this year. Is that something going for the Eagles or not? I'm not sure.
Even Josh Norman gave praise to Carson Wentz.
They have to. Right? Like,
yeah,
he's played so well.
Yeah. I definitely can't wait to see what he does, in a few years when this team's a little more down the line. But right now, I'm just gotta enjoy it.
Take it in.
It's an exciting team. It's an exciting time.
Yeah, enjoy it, man. I mean, we've got our quarterback for the next 10, possibly 15 years. Like, maybe not this year. I still think they can win the division this year. Listening to people, talking with some people are now starting to sway off of that just because of one loss to Detroit. But
one loss, really? I mean, It's going to happen. You're going to lose games. He's a rookie.
Yeah, but that was a bad loss. In hindsight, looking at it, I think that's why people are now overreacting to it. It's a game they definitely should have won. It would have helped them to be 4-0 right now going into this tough stretch of games.
But, how much of that can you blame on Carson Wentz? I mean, the defense didn't exactly help. They played sloppy.
In the first half, they played sloppy. Yeah.
They did tighten it up in the second half, but, too many penalties, too many mistakes. And I think you saw a little bit of the rookie in Carson Wentz where, instead of, clapping his hands, I agree with what the announcer said on Fox. Instead of clapping his hands, use a timeout. Don't be afraid to use those timeouts.
I mean, I didn't have it. I've always been a little bit different. I mean, I know it's a first half timeout, but I didn't have a huge problem with it. I would rather see. I just love the way this regime handles their timeouts, as opposed to what I always saw under the Andy Reid era. So, me personally, I've got nothing wrong with the timeouts and the clapping there. Line's up, by the way, in the game.
Really?
Yeah, the Eagles are now 3-point favorites. So when we recorded on Tuesday this week, they were only 2-point favorites. Now the Eagles are all the way up to 3-point favorites. So the smart money has been going on the Birds so far. In fact, I got the rest of the lines up here. Let's see how our picks are looking. All right. Now, you took Pittsburgh on the road at Miami.
Yes, and I took New England at home.
What was that line? Do you remember when we picked? Do you remember?
Which line?
The Pittsburgh and Miami.
That was 7.5.
That line's now down to 7. So some people, all right, so it's moved a little bit. So some people think Miami might cover that at home. So, but now your play was based off of the 7.5. So that's the number we're going off.
Yes.
All right, and who was your other one?
New England.
New England
beating Cincinnati.
Okay, what was the line then?
10, I believe.
Okay, line's at 9 points here.
Okay.
That's a big line against. I know it's the Bengals. They didn't play well against Cowboys. I feel like that's a big line. Cincinnati can put up points. We'll see. And then I took the Chiefs, who are now. Wow, the Chiefs are now 1.5 favorites at Oakland.
Wow.
And if I recall correctly, they were a 1-point underdog when we recorded. Wow. All right. So people are betting heavy on the Chiefs. I like that. I like seeing that. I feel like I might be on the right side of that one.
How about them Chiefs?
And another one. What the heck was that? How about them Chiefs?
No,
Well, you Kansas City fan now, also?
No, I'm mocking it. I'm saying it as how Andy Reid would say it.
So that was your Andy Reid impression.
Yes.
I think that needs a little work. Maybe spend some time, practicing that on the iPhone before we bust that one out again.
Yeah.
Who was my other play? I don't know.
Oh, you had Seattle.
Right, Seattle. Right. Oh, okay, and that was 6 points, right?
Yes.
And now they're up to 6.5-point favorites against Atlanta. All right, so I like the way my picks are trending. Your picks are kind of trending the other way.
Yeah.
But you're 3-0 though, so I can't even. Really,
I got 3 straight wins.
Yeah, you got 3 straight wins going on, so I can't even talk smack there. All right, so that'll be interesting to see how those games go.
Definitely.
Look at the rest of these lines. Did anything stand out here? Wow. So Cam Newton, it looks like Cam Newton's going to play again.
Yeah,
right?
that's the report.
Yeah. All right. So, but listen to this. So with Cam Newton even playing, it looks like the Panthers are only 2.5-point favorites at the Saints. Yeah, that's New Orleans line.
New Orleans is what, 1-4?
No, I think they're 1-3 because they had a bye last
right.
week. So they're 1-3. That's a surprising one.
Yeah, that is a surprise.
I think I've got New Orleans. Yeah, I think I took them winning in both my pools.
Wow.
Looking at that, I would definitely bet the Saints there. That's the only other one that really stands out to me. I'm not going to add that into my plays. My plays are out there. Not going to mess with.
No.
With their customers, all that. We don't want to mess with the karma there, but all right. So our plays are looking okay so far. Still,
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But the Birds, I just think they win this game. There's a lot of people who are afraid, and I understand it's a division game, and obviously crazy things happen in the division. But I'm just not sold on Washington, man. I'm just not. I think there's a big mismatch with the Eagles' D line and the Redskins' offensive line. Now, how the Eagles' offensive line is now going to perform with Lane Johnson gone until Week 16, Fair criticism.
Yep.
Fair assessment. I'm a little worried about it. Excuse me. Big V is going to have to step up.
Yep.
We're going to have to see what Big V has got. Peterson says he's improved since the preseason.
Right. Definitely going to have to get pressure on Kirk Cousins as well. I think if you're Doug Peterson, you send the rush. You send the rush all day long.
What do you think of Cousins?
I think he's trash.
Yeah, I don't know. He's so up and down. He's so streaky. Like he's got moments where he looks really good. And I'm like, okay, this guy. They re-signed this guy. But then watching how he started the year, just seeing some of the bonehead plays, like the interceptions in the red zone. I don't think they're going to bring him back.
Yeah, I think you're looking at a new quarterback this time next year in Washington.
Do you remember the play last year against the Eagles? Remember that they were driving in the last couple of seconds of the half, and he went to spike the ball. And instead of spiking it, he took a kneel. Yeah,
now that you mention it, I do remember that play.
That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Yeah, that deserves. I still can't believe that.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that. I came across. I was looking at highlights of the Eagles and Redskins game last year, and that one came along, and I started laughing out loud.
That's
God,
interesting.
How bad that play was. That's one of the dumbest ones I've ever seen. So that alone right there is probably reason to move on from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Man, and then we got the last presidential debate coming up Wednesday.
Dude, I am so politically drained right now. It's not even funny. I mean, it seems like every 2 seconds you see either a commercial or you hear about something on the social media websites. It's just like, shut up about it already.
I think the rest of the country's there with you, man. I mean, this has been that's the perfect word for it. This has been probably the most draining presidential race in history. I mean, with these two jokers that we got running, and now you have all this stuff coming out now about Trump and all the sexual assault allegations. Like, why doesn't this guy just drop out?
Yeah, he's a clown.
Well, he is a joker. There's no doubt about that. I mean, this is just seeing all this stuff, man. It almost feels like we're watching a soap opera here. One thing after another comes out, and the guy just keeps going for it.
He's persistent. You can give him that much.
It's a shame because in the last debate, they spent probably in about the hour and a half they were debating. Maybe they spent, I don't know, 15 minutes, if that, actually talking about the core issues people want to hear about. It's just smear campaigns against each other.
Yeah, that's pretty much what any political debate's about nowadays. It's not about the core issues. It's about going after the other candidate because you don't like them. Yeah, it's just a shame. It's evolved to that. I mean, this year, I feel like it's worse this year more so than any other election. Mainly, I think, because you have Donald Trump in there, and these are two candidates who, between the two of them, they have enough. Baggage between the two of them to cover probably the last 25 years worth of elections and presidential candidates. You know what this is? It's picking the less of two evils. It really is, though. You know, when you really boil it down to the nitty gritty, it is. That's the perfect way to put it. You know, you got to choose between the lesser of two evils here. And I'm gonna be honest, and I have a feeling this is going to end up being like the 2000 election all over again. Really? Really. And I'll tell you why. Because you have, Jill Stein, who's kind of just sitting there, and you have the millennials who are probably going to end up, possibly voting for her. And what does that do? It takes away votes from the two primary candidates. Yeah, I think you'll see the two other parties. They're going to get more votes than you've seen in recent years, but I think just the opposite now. I think she's going to cream him. I think he's going to get destroyed now come the general election. It's just one thing after another coming out with him, and he's lost so much steam. Like, he's done nothing. He's done nothing to try to win over people who are on the fence between the two of them. He just keeps pounding home his message, and he's getting people. He's got his base, but he hasn't done anything to win over swing voters. Yeah, it's amazing, and neither has she. No. Neither has she, yeah. But he needs them more so than her right now. Yeah, with all the stuff coming out, you got
people fleeing his campaign left and right.
Yeah. We'll see what happens when the election comes around.
Less than a month away now.
Yeah. Actually, only a couple weeks.
Right, because the last debate's Wednesday, and then, it's coming up close, man. Fast and furious.
The first Tuesday in November.
See, I love that. I love election night. I love sitting there watching the news, seeing the tallies come in, seeing the votes come in. It's one of my favorite things.
You know what? I got to agree with you. As much as I can't stand the bickering back and forth, I love watching the statistics coming in. Every hour or so.
It's just a fun night.
It is.
It is. It's big historical significance too.
Definitely, it's the you're deciding who's going to be the president of the United States.
I get my hot chocolate, I get my dinner, and I just plant myself right in front of the TV for that night.
I pop myself a bag of popcorn and watch the debate. The numbers come in.
Yeah, so it's exciting. It's pretty obvious at this point who's going to come out on top. But still, it's a fun night to see.
It is.
You get that unknown factor going in, and slowly but surely things start to work themselves out. But remember the 2000 election? That one was. You mentioned that earlier. That was a fun one, man.
Yeah.
You had the recall. Boy, that took took a while to sort that one out.
Yeah, and then this year I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think there's gonna be a similar election.
I don't. You want to go bet on that? You want to go another sandwich on that?
I'm on an 0-4 right now. I think
we're wussing out.
Yeah, I already owe you one sandwich. I'm not gonna.
Oh man.
Yeah. I'm gonna back away from that bet.
Oh man. Well, he's going down hard. That's the way I see it.
Speaking of news, we have a new segment here on the Philly Pod. It's called The Buzz. Since you created this, Dave, you just kick it off.
All right, well, thank you for the transition, Mike. So our new segment is called The Buzz. Basically what it's going to be, we're just going to take a look at some headlines around the country, around the world, some things that have stood out to us. And so let's go ahead. We're going to kick it off. We're going to start. This week came out from Hackensack, New Jersey. Apparently, straight from the headlines, a New Jersey man has been charged with stealing more than $160,000 worth of Jamaican cheese.
That is a lot of cheese.
Yeah, prosecutors say that the 18-year-old suspect stole pallets of tasty cheese products from a food warehouse in Jamaica on September the 23rd. So $160,000 worth of cheese. Dude, have you ever eaten $160,000 worth of cheese in your life?
No.
Like, what is the point for this crime?
I have no clue. You'd probably have to ask him yourself to get that answer.
I mean, of all things to go down for, like
cheese,
like cheese is going to be the end of you. And dude, he's facing he's been charged with theft, burglary, conspiracy, and possessing burglary tools. What the heck's a burglary tool? Probably
like a pick.
What was this guy, like James Bond? He's got like picks inside the credit card, laser watches. What the heck is that?
Yeah, probably. Probably like a lock pick or something.
And then we got our last one. This one's pretty good. And this one we're going up north, still staying in the United States. We're going up to Massachusetts. And a surgeon at a Massachusetts hospital has come under fire because he has mistakenly removed a healthy kidney from someone with the same name as a patient with a tumor on theirs. So he took the kidney out of the wrong patient.
I don't know how you messed that up. You're talking about a very important situation here. And you goof it up like that.
So apparently there were two people at the same hospital with the same name. The person they were supposed to perform the procedure on had a tumor on their kidney, so the kidney had to be removed. Well, the doctor did not check the records, found the patient with the same name, just assumed it was correct, and took the good kidney out of the wrong person.
You mean to tell me that you can't tell the difference between a healthy kidney?
How does that happen?
And a kidney with a tumor on it?
Like, dude. This guy's working as a doctor. Are you serious?
That should get him fired.
I think so. There's a lawsuit pending. Here's the thing. Gets even better. The mistake was not discovered until after tests were done on the kidney after it was removed.
Wow.
Now, should he be able to see a tumor on the kidney when he take it out? And let's go even further when you're operating on the kidney. Don't you start to have the thought, that's weird, tumor's a little bit smaller than what I remember it being last time.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
There's not even a tumor at all.
No. There you go. There's headline news for us. That's our new segment. We're going to try it out, see how it works.
Yeah.
We'll try to get different headlines from not just the U.S. or our area, but around the world. So we've got, we're half an hour in. We've flown through this.
Yes.
All right, so we've got Grind Time, our new segment. Again, we bring up anything that's been bothering us, either in the sports world, life, or wherever. Mike, your segment, your baby, what do you got for us this week?
Well, the Flyers game tonight, after winning last night, I'm worried about the Flyers. I want to see them win, but they cannot play down to the opponent. You just can't.
What kind of grind is that? You're just supposed to pick something that happened in the world and then grind about that.
This very well could happen.
Dude, isn't this your segment?
It is.
Didn't you introduce this last week?
Yes.
And you don't even know what the heck to grind about.
This is something to grind about. If the Flyers don't play, well enough, it'll be worth the grind.
Dude, grind time, I'm going to cut it and we'll slice it back. Grind time is supposed to be, you pick something that happened in the sports world and then you go off about it. Not about the Flyers playing down to their opponent. I've got one. Okay, I've got one for our audience. Okay,
let's hear it.
I actually followed the requirements of the assignment.
All right, let's hear it, Dave.
I've got a grind with Tiger Woods.
Oh boy.
Withdrew out of the Safeway Open.
Yeah.
After he built it up for months, said, I'm coming back, Safeway Open's going to be my first tournament. Well, he waits until the last possible second to commit to the tournament.
Yeah.
And then come Monday before, this past Monday, oh no, I'm withdrawing. His reason was, my game's not in a good competitive state right now. Well, dude, why the heck did you commit to the tournament in the first place?
I heard about that.
You got all the sponsors ready. You got all the fans. The few fans who actually want to see you play. They asked, you had them all lined up, ready to go. And Tiger Woods, come on. You commit to the tournament, say you're going to play now. Oh, no, I'm not ready competitively. What did you even sign up for it in the first place for? That's my grind. Tiger Woods, I'm done with Tiger Woods, man. Now, see, that's a grind. That's a grind. Something happened, Flyers don't play down to their level. Man, oh man.
Oh, I go, yeah.
One of us is getting it here.
Yeah.
Man. But anyway, time for shout-outs. We're going to move it along. It looks like we got a total of, I guess, Mike, you take Facebook and SoundCloud.
All right. Shout out on Facebook to Vincent Peretti, who liked us. And on SoundCloud, we have Nadine Wonderland. Thank you for following us.
Heading over to Twitter, gained some new followers past week. Shout out to Dargan J. Franks, Joe Yuva, and Charles Johnston. Guys, thanks for following us on Twitter. Again, you guys can, thank you so much for that. You guys keep us going. You can find us. We're on Twitter at the Philly Pod. Like us on the Facebook page. We're on SoundCloud. We have a YouTube channel as well. And we also are available on iTunes for free downloading.
Who doesn't like free?
That's right, man. You can check it out. Usually you have to pay for those downloads. Not with us.
No.
Ours are free.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe we don't want them to stay free forever. Because if they start charging, that means we're getting bigger. But anyway, they're free right now. Right. All right? So check them out. Get them while they're free. They're going to be hot soon. So check us out there. So coming down to the end now.
Yes.
That's a pretty good show.
Definitely.
We hit on everything, man. Hit on the Eagles for a little bit, Flyers, Sixers, little presidential race.
Yes.
I taught you how to do a correct grind, even though it's